Hello and welcome to the S.O.S show live with Mary Evans. S.O.S stands for Share Our Stories. I'm your host and a strong believer that there's power in sharing stories. We will continue to bring you content that will uplift, motivate, and educate you with the goal of you living your best life, healthy, mentally, spiritually, and financially, which leads to leaving a legacy and building generational wealth. I'm going to be interviewing a music iconic. But before we go into the show, I'd like for you to watch this short commercial. So, guys, get ready. We're going to interview. This guy is amazing. Songwriter, author. He was the former lead singer for the Barcades for over 47 years. He's coming out of retirement, and he's coming out of retirement to burn. I would like to introduce you to the show, Mr. Larry Dodson. How did you like that, Mr. Dodson? Listen.
Oh, wow. Cheers are always good. How are you this evening?
I'm so excited. You know, this virtual thing, we went from a live studio to virtual, and we used to the clapping, and it does give you, that excitement. So I'm like, listen, we have to put some clapping in there somewhere. But welcome to our virtual platform, the S.O.S show live with Mary Evans. Wow. I want to get right into the show and some things that I want to know, and I'm sure it's some people that's watching the show want to know. When you decided to retire, I would like to know, what was that moment where you said, you know what, I'm done. I've been doing this 47 years. I'm healthy. I want to come out of this, because, a lot of people, when they retire, they're either too sick or broke to really enjoy life.
Well, you kind of touched on it. Unfortunately, fortunately for me, neither one of those things were part of what had me to make the decision. I was absolutely fine. I had no rifts with the band. I've been the only singer and producer, the only singer the band has had, since 1970. But, I've been married for 50 years. My wife and I just celebrated our 50th anniversary, August the 21st. And I'm saying that to people, wow, okay, all right, you done a little bit of research. That she is. But, I was saying that she and I both had planned to just retire. And I honestly thought I could just stop, irregardless of the fact there was nothing wrong. I was in very good health. And we were just going to celebrate the rest of our life, man, while we could, while we were in good health, and travel the world and just do things that people of our age do when you're still so terribly in love, And that's it didn't work. It didn't work. I mean, and everybody knew with me. Everybody was saying, Larry, you ain't gonna last a year. And they were just about right. After about a year and a half, I said, this ain't gonna work. Too many calls. I miss it too much. And I'm just going to get back out there. But I took 7 months to find somebody to take my place in the Barcades. And James Alexander and I still own the band. Okay. So I'm going to leave that like it is. Kids doing a good job. I want to try something that I always wanted to do, which was a solo career. And I launched that on the Tom Joyner Cruise, Fantastic Voyage with Janet Jackson, Charlie Wilson. And so I got
you guys are pretty good friends, right? You and Charlie are pretty close. Right.
Oh yeah, we're down like two flat tires, man. Yeah.
Now, when you decided to come out, that's the second part. Were you just sitting home one day and said, "I'm tired. Now I'm going back in"? What was that moment? Do you remember the moment that you said, "You know what"? You start thinking very serious, and was there anything that led you to that? Did you get bored? Tell me about that.
Well, I will tell you this, Mary. I was sitting up one day, you know, and I was already feeling like I was missing it so very much. And then I had this moment, you know. I said, you know what, Prince is dead. My real good friend Rick James is dead. Roger is dead. And all these guys are funketeers. You know, Boots ain't performing too much anymore. George Clinton, who was on my last album, he was getting ready to retire. I said, man, if I stop, Sly Stone ain't around no more. And these are funketeers. These are the guys I hang with, man. So I said, you know what? If I stop, what's, who's left? You know, fortunately, Charlie was still around, but
right.
So that was one of the moments that said, you know, I owe it to the fans to put some more music out, even after 30 albums. But I said, I'm gonna do something that I want to do. You know, let's let my fans and friends in the industry see another side of Larry Dodson. So I travel now as Larry D, formerly singer of the Barcades, and my album, which will be finished very soon, Mary, is so romantic.
I know we're going to talk about that at the end of the show.
Very good.
You know, one of the things. My favorite song was Anticipation. Oh, I wish that, if I could hear a little note on that, boy, I have to fly there and
oh my God. You know what? That's baby making music, man. Baby making.
And let's talk about that, because you know what? In my parents' era and as we growing up, you know, there was music for everything that happened in your life. When you say baby making music, if you broke up with your man, if you was happy, if you were sad. And the artists back then were just so amazing. They put on a show. When I say put on a show, not only were you guys able to play instruments and able to dance, just your clothing. I think we had a picture of you guys on the stage. Listen, most of your pictures trying to find you had your shirt off. What was going on? Y'all didn't like to keep your shirt on, did y'all?
Well, we got too hot, man. You know, one of the things you touched on something, one of the things that kept us going throughout the years, even when we didn't have a real big record on the radio, our stage show was just really elaborate. We had bombs and smokes and fire and dancers, and that was the glue that kind of kept us going, even when we didn't have a hit record, man. We had costumes, those costumes that you have on right there on the show now, those were designed by the same people who did Elton John's.
Really?
Absolutely. Cost us a fortune. May not look like it, but they did, man. So we were just all in for show business, all in for show business. And the fact that I used the snake in the act, that was like, it was like people had to, and I only did it in the last 5 minutes of every show. So you had to watch the whole show to see what I was going to do with this big boy, whatever it was I was fooling.
Smart. That was smart, because you had to stay the whole time to see what the end result.
That's exactly right.
Music, which just, you know, I love old music. Just in case we have some people out. I mean, I just love, you know, the vinyls are coming back, LPs are coming back. You know, they're starting to come back around. They say everything has a full turn and it comes back. But what I want to say to you, because I'm sure we have some artists out there today, there's so many platforms where you can download free music. Now you can actually download different programs to get different sounds, your bass, different music. Like back then, you had to actually know how to play the instrument. I'm sure stayed in the studio practicing. Do you think that is an advantage or a disadvantage for the music industry today and artists that's coming up?
I'm going to tell you something. I admonish all of the up and coming artists now to really try to learn how to do something for real. You know what I'm saying? In an age where they're totally dependent, well, not all of them, but a lot of them are just totally dependent on what people can do on the stage, tune their voices up if they're out of tune, and just make drums where there are no drums. You know, I think the circle, you touched on it. We're coming full circle now, and live music is coming back. Vinyl is coming back. When CDs are being stopped to be even made, and downloading is becoming just a way of life now for these kids. But you know, and along with having real bands playing live in the studio again, I admonish the kids to write songs that you touched on it as part of your mission for being on TV is to create generational wealth. We still make money off of songs we did 40 years ago, man. They're showing up in movies and all sorts of things. But I mean, I know, and I love rap music, and not all of it, but you're just not going to find somebody trying to back that ass up again. It's just, I mean that in a good spirit. But look how many times "Walk On By" has been re-recorded, and by the time I get to Phoenix and "A House Is Not a Home," these are songs. When Luther did it, it was, even though I've heard Mavis do it and Dionne Warwick did it first, but he took it and made a song of his own. That's going to create generational wealth for his family forever. You know what I'm saying? It's real music that touches the heart. When you use that pen, cut like a knife when you go down on that paper, man.
That's what I'm talking about. I wanted to give the audience and anyone that's listening some real good information. It's not every day that we'll get a chance to talk to someone like you that have so much experience, so much knowledge. You have been through so many things, and I'm sure you have seen it all. And we have our young people today. I want them to know that it's very important to remember our James Brown and all our, funk music. What do you think we could do to keep it alive? I know it's a museum. Tell me about a museum. Is it a museum for the older artists, P-Funk funk artists?
Absolutely right. There's several. Okay, the Stax Museum in Memphis, Tennessee, which highlights all of the artists that have come through Stax Records. It's an incredible studio. So well done, so well prepared, and just has a plethora of information and stuff to see, and artifacts and clothing and stuff of ours, and Isaac Hayes. They have Isaac Hayes' car there, man. So
really?
That's just one of them. And then you have there's a Funk National Hall of Fame, and we've been inducted into the R&B Hall of Fame just a couple of years ago. So, and the Smithsonian Institute, for the last 8 or 9 years, they have pieces of our outfits that they asked for. So, we've really had an amazing career. 30 albums, 20 top 10 records, 20 top 10 singles. It's been an amazing career.
Now, you are part ownership of the Bar-Kays, is that correct?
Yes, James Alexander and I still own the band. That's exactly right.
That is awesome. Now, I know it took you 7 months to find someone to replace you. And I hear he's amazing.
He's a really good kid. He's from Memphis, Tennessee. We almost got somebody out of Las Vegas, who was equally as tight and just a great performer. But in the 11th hour, we changed our mind. We said, you know what? It would be better to get somebody in Memphis that could rehearse a lot with the band and kind of get things going, because it was never downtime. When I left, the transition was seamless. It was smooth. They never missed a beat. So we ended up getting a kid out of Memphis, Chris J. That's his name, and he's an incredible singer. He's on the Bar-Kays' new record, which will be out in 2021. So just look for that, and all of us are very close. All of us are very close.
And I see, I have a passion for generational wealth. And as I was studying and reading, you're coming out doing something new, doing something different. You just wanted a change. You're coming out singing single, solo. You're coming out with your new music. And you have started a new production company, you and your son. What is the name of that new label company?
It's a new record label. It's called Music Moves. And in 2003, James Alexander and myself, from 2003 up until this label, we had a label called JEA, Writing Our Records. But I wanted my new music to come out on a brand new label, and I wanted my son to be co-owner of it. And it's called Music Moves. And my new single is "I'm Good," which is just radio is just blowing me up every day for it. And it was only released September the 18th, man. It's available. It's available now everywhere you want to get your music. Spotify, Apple, it's free to be downloaded now.
Well, I tell you, you are definitely a busy man, because I also was reading, you have a book out. You're an author. You have a book, As the Band Plays On.
And the band plays on. That's it right there.
Yeah.
I wrote this book. My son encouraged me to do it because we sit around the table in the morning time as we're talking about what would pop. This is what you're gonna have to do for the rest of the week. He handles my day-to-day stuff, and he said, I would always tell him all these stories about when we were on the road and different. He said, "Well, you should write a book." I said, "I never thought about doing it. I'm not an author. What do I know about doing that?" But I took it on. And then I got into it, and I found me somebody to edit the book for me. And you know what they told me? Her name is Sheila Bell. She said, "Lara, you're giving me such great notes that I don't have to do anything." She said, "I'll name the chapters for you." She said, "But you have a gift for it." And she didn't change anything that I wrote in the book. There are things I share in this book that I really had never said to anybody. It is all about me, not everybody else's garbage. It's a backstage pass into the history of the group, all the things that happened to us, the good, bad, and the ugly, and more good than bad,
Can we purchase the book again? Where can we purchase the book?
Amazon, online. You can get it at www.thelarrydodson.com is my website. You can go there and get it, and we can even arrange for you to get autographed copies, man. Once you get to my website.
You are on the move. When you say you coming out burning, you burning for sure. Let's talk about, I hear you have a whiskey. Like I said, this show is about you. I wanted to touch on the Barcades, but I want people to know how amazing you are. If they don't know, they will know at the end of the S.O.S show live with Mary Evans.
Right. I've had a long time. That's it. It's called Guidance Whiskey. I've had a 2.5-year run as being the spokesman for this whiskey. It's a great whiskey, top shelf. They call me the captain of this whiskey. And I have other aspirations. I'm in the liquor business now, so I have other aspirations. You'll be seeing some other stuff that I'll be doing. And I continue to be an author. In fact, my wife and I are writing a book together. This book is called Keep Looking Up When It's Downs. It's my daughter. Her name is Precious. Our daughter, she's born Down syndrome. So this book, Keep Looking Up When It's Downs, simply saying, keep your eye on God when you have a kid that's perhaps mentally challenged and you don't think there's hope. But the doctors told us not to, get attached because she wasn't going to live past her teens. She just turned 49 years old. She's been working for 28 years. She's a success story. And this is going to be so therapeutic and such a great ministry for people who read this book to see that there is hope, not only for Down syndrome kids, but for any mentally challenged kids. There's a lot going on inside.
I'm telling you, this is great. I just would want to stop the interview for a second because I ran across someone that knows you and they stepped into the studio and they say hello. So we're going to bring in an old friend of yours.
Oh, wow.
Could you please bring Brian to the show, please?
Hey, old man.
Oh my God. Where'd you find this guy, man? It's so weird. It's so weird, Brian. I was thinking about you yesterday. I was upstairs in the studio, the one we call it, we christened
the hot box.
The hot box. That's right.
No AC.
Oh yeah.
No AC.
Oh, no AC up there, but we know AC. But look, we had a lot of funky stuff going on up there.
Brian.
Oh yeah, we cut a lot of records up there.
Just thinking about you, man. How are you, my brother?
Good, man. Good.
Well.
I got somebody else for you to see.
Uh-oh. Y'all full surprises, man.
Wait a minute. Your grandchild.
Oh my God. Oh no, wait a minute. Hey, darling. Boy, how are you? You look so much older than you were the last time I saw you. You okay?
Right. Yeah.
I thought I'd surprise you. I come here and surprise you today.
Oh man, that is
Brian, how did you guys meet each other? How did this come about? How did you meet Mr. Dodson?
Oh wow. He came to Al Green's recording studio one night and said, "I'm looking for this young guy named Brian." I said, "I am." He said, "Well, I'm Larry Dodson of the Barcades." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I know who you are." And he took me to the hot box to start working on the 48 Hours album.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
Really?
And then I went from there to From what, working on the album to being in the band?
To being in the band, you played you came in as the keyboard player,
right?
Then you end up playing bass,
yep, and then
right?
end up being sound engineer, and then
sound engineer, right? Yeah,
I ran through that whole
start off as my co-producer with me. We start off making music together. This guy right here, he is amazing. And I'm not just saying this.
I appreciate it.
Brian is one of the most talented guys I've ever met in my life. I mean, he could play and grace the stage with anybody.
Wow.
I mean, with anybody. He is multi-talented. I've listened to albums that he's put together where he played everything on the album.
Brian.
That's how cool this guy is.
Well, you know what? After saying that, Mr. Dodson, Brian, you hold on. We're going to sign the contract before you.
Why you tell Mary that, Larry?
Right. It's all good now.
It's all true. It's all true. It's all true.
Yes. Well, Brian, thank you for
that. You still listening to the Back to Basic album?
Oh, yeah. Man, you be well, you be swell, and you stay
You do the same. I appreciate it.
And congratulations too here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Your marriage that you didn't tell me about. Bye, man.
We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about that later. Okay.
All right.
Love you.
Oh, he saw.
Oh, man, Mary, that's such a treat.
Is it? I'm so glad you think so. He came down to the studio because Brian helped me with, he put my studio together when it comes to sounds, lights. And I told him I was interviewing you. He was like, are you? Oh, man. I said, we have to bring you on the show.
Oh, that was delightful. And it was so weird because he's been on my mind. I was up in the studio the other day just fumbling around, and I said, Brian and I christened the studio years ago.
Yes.
He brought all his stuff and threw him on the floor, and we just started picking up stuff and making music.
I love it.
Yeah,
amazing. I believe it was a birthday present that your son had made for you, and I just want to bring that to the screen. And if you know who did this portrait, maybe we could give them some love because I love giving shout outs. That is, your son had that made for you, right?
Absolutely. It was a gift for me. Yeah. I think this was Father's Day, I do believe.
That is awesome.
Absolutely. Isn't that something? The name of the artist escapes me at the moment, but that's a very good picture.
Very good.
Yep.
Picture. So, when I told you we were going to talk about you and just try to give some nuggets to people that's out there in the industry, because, if it has never been hard, it's hard in 2020 to make anything happen. If you can tell them one encouraging thing, what would that be, Mr. Dodson?
Probably there's nothing in front of keeping God first. There's nothing in front of that. Seek him first, and all this other stuff that you're aspiring to do and those mountains you're trying to climb will come with that. But I would say really surround yourself with the smartest people you can. I mean, just the very smartest people, even people you can't afford, get them around you so you can always have wise counsel. And because talent is a great part of it, but being financially stable and having just wisdom around you so that you don't fall in every hole that's in front of you. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
You know you're a business person, so know you have to. Don't worry about it. Don't ever try to be the smartest bulb in the room. Okay. Yeah.
And I like that you said that because it brings a question. When I interview very successful people, they all say the same thing: try to be the smartest, find you a mentor. But I'm here to tell you, it's one of the hardest things to do. I find that, you're just busy. Maybe it's not because they don't want to, but I hear it all the time. But when you reach out to successful celebrities, it's so hard because no matter how hard you work and they see all the things you're doing, I'm sure everybody have their own things going on in their life. You, in your opinion, or drop any nuggets if you're trying to reach out to see if someone, and I'm only looking like once a month, whatever you can fit in, whatever they can fit in their life. What would you say to people like myself that's trying to find a mentor And it don't matter if it's 15 minutes over the phone, a month, Zoom, whatever. Do you have any advice?
Well, you know what? All the way back to when I joined the Marquets, I was 19 years old and just so very lucky. And the band was as well to have a mentor, Alan Jones, who was our producer, our best friend, and then later became our manager. But, you know, Mary, you got to have that someone who always has an objective opinion other than yours about what to do, when to do it, and how to do it.
Absolutely.
You know, always, that's that wise counsel that we all need. And, you know, the Holy Spirit will guide us, but God gives us, you know, other senses to know, and he puts us in places that we need to be.
Okay.
And not keep a lot of that out of your life and keep looking up. You always look up.
So just keep asking. You know, we know many doors close. Everyone. I also talked to the successful. They did hear a lot of no before they heard the word yes.
I jump over the nose to get to that yes.
Okay. Keep going. Keep asking. Keep sending out those emails. Keep trying to contact until somebody. Because, you know, everyone that's successful, they have somebody in their life where they decided to say, yes, I'm going to take you on, show you what I know, teach if you're teachable. Everybody is not coachable. Everybody can't be. So I try to keep an open mind. And I'm just hoping that one door I knock on and they say, okay, I will take time to give you some nuggets, you know, especially when it comes to this talk show thing. To be honest, I only been doing it 11 months. It's all new, but, you know, I can't complain. I just keep going and hopefully that one of my videos will get to the right person. They say, you know what, if she just had a little more guidance, she can knock this out the park. So I'll take your advice and just keep going and keep going.
Just keep going, because if you take one step, God will take two for you. You know, okay. And I've never seen it fail. You know, and I ask my wife all the time, when's the last time God let us down? She said, it ain't happened yet.
All right.
It ain't happened.
Tell me anything else that's coming up new in your life?
Well, you know, right now, we just finished our pay-per-view, which was a real big success. It was on the 26th. It was that was my first pay-per-view concert. I did about 75 minutes. It was great, but right now it's all about I'm Good. It's all about my new single, which is blowing up, and it's our first record on our new label, Music Moves Records. In fact, if you can go to www.thelarrydodson.com if you want to get your I'm Good t-shirt.
Okay.
And get my book, and the band plays on. So it's all about that right now, and you know, nobody's touring right now, but I do plan to tour 2021 with a brand new show, which I was able to show on my pay-per-view. Yes. That's the most important thing right now. Just staying safe, and let me please don't let me leave without saying,
vote.
Please, people, don't choke, vote.
Absolutely.
Don't be squirrely. Get out there and vote early, okay?
And we do have the information going at the bottom of the screen so they can get the information to order any of your products. Before we wrap this show up, I just want to definitely say thank you, but we have to get in a little clip of this new single. It is amazing.
Thank you.
Don't need the money, don't need the fame, don't need a million fans screaming my name. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for all that I have. But if I didn't have it or they took it away, I wouldn't stress it out, I'd be okay. Cause I got my baby and she gives me everything I want and need. That's why I say, long as I got you, I'm good. Ain't no other girl but me, I'm good. If I had to walk through hell and back, I would. Baby, long as I got you, I'm good. need a TV to be entertained. Don't need no medicine when I'm in pain. Don't need a personal trainer, 'cause baby, you work me out. Every day is a holiday, so I celebrate. Girl, you're the best thing God ever made. I love you so much, you're more than enough for my life. So believe me when I say, as long as I got you, I'm good. Ain't no other girl but me, I'm good. If I had to walk through hell and back, I would. Baby, long as I got you, I'm good. If the world were to come to an end tonight, I'll be alright, long as I got my baby, baby. Ooh, fellas, grab your lady by the hand, bring her to the dance floor and tell her, say I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, say ladies, sway your body one time. Look them in the eyes and tell them, say I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, say I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Baby, as long as I got you, I'm good. Ain't no other girl but me, I'm good. If I had to walk through hell and back, I would. Baby, long as I got you, I'm good. When I'm down and I'm out, girl, I don't need nobody else around. I love to see your face in the morning. Don't just tell me that you love me, baby, show me. When I'm down and I'm out, ain't nobody else to turn me around. See, when this life beat me up, I never found it, 'cause I had you in my corner, kept me going. Walk through hell and back, I would. See, baby, long as I got you, I'm good.
I'm like in church. I need some more.
Oh my God, it's a great record.
When I tell you, Mr. Dodson, I wouldn't say anything if I didn't believe it. I'm feeling that. It gives you that old school vibe. This song is such a vibe. Real R&B is back, people. It is back. That vibe is what I'm looking for. You come, I love this great interview, an amazing song. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Please like a wall, Larry Dodson. Please like, share, give him some hearts, give him some love. Go to his website.
There you go. Watch the video. Just go watch the video. It's on YouTube. Just go to put it up www.thelarrydodson.com or go to YouTube and type in "I'm Good Video" and watch the video for nothing.
Because you know what, Mr. That's what we have to do, is learn to help and support each other. We've been preaching this, but if you don't know it now, then you up under a rock somewhere and not paying attention to what's going on. And I guarantee you, every chance we get, we'll try to do whatever we can to push this amazing song, amazing interview. Not only did we talk about you, but you dropped some gold nuggets for other people that's trying to get in the industry. You really did that. And you know, when we're blessed, what we're supposed to do is give it back and drop. And what they say, sharing is caring. And
there you go.
Each one. And I want to thank you for this interview. And I don't believe that the Lord put us together for this to be the only time that we do something together.
Oh, you better know that. You better know that we're going to talk and chop it up and get some other stuff done. How about that?
All right. Thank you so much. And you have a great day and be safe.
Be well. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.